Welcome to the first ever episode of the Wake Up Call with me, Jean-Marie. I've got some amazing guests from last year's episode, some of your favourites. So let's kick off with Sabrina Stocker.
Hola!
Kurran Pooni.
Yo!
Camilla Ainsworth.
You!
And Kayode Damali.
Woo!
Woo! Right, what have we all been up to, guys? Doing once. Kayode.
Right, so for me, as people know, that I'm a speaker, so I've been in loads of speaking. Also been running my events, it's been going well. And I've got a merch out too.
Merch? What kind of merch?
T-shirts, cups, socks. I should have all my socks now.
With your face on?
Yeah.
No!
My face on it.
No,
I should have worn the socks today. I really should have worn them today. Yeah, and I've got quotes as well,
That's pretty cool.
So when you're like having your morning tea, you just see your face.
Yeah, it's really
We'll do a collab.
Yeah, it's like Jean-Marie Jean-Marie Cod. What
about you, Camilla?
So I'm in Holland and Barrett, not me personally, the product's in Holland and Barrett, which is fab. On Muscle Food as well, online, doing a lot of speaking and things, which is amazing.
And on Holes.
Yeah, and on Holes, a little bit of Holes chucked in for good measure. Excuse me, I can work anywhere.
I seen the nut milk bikini.
Oh yeah,
all right,
I know, we need to, that's another collab in the pipelines. It was a bit of a certificate 18 bikini actually, because the splashes were like in a weird place. But yeah, and then I've got another product launching, so it's all go.
So when does this launch?
So it's going to launch probably when the final is kicking off, just to, capitalise a little bit on that.
Good idea.
But yeah, no, it's been really, really busy since.
Good. Kurran, up to much?
Yeah, you know me, I'm always busy.
What films? Any films?
Do you know what? Nothing big that you would have known of at the minute.
No?
Yeah, I was on Aladdin, which was great. I watched that in the cinema, and to be honest with you, if I was with you and I pointed myself out, then you'd see me. But if you didn't, we're like wearing headgear because I was a guard, so you couldn't really see me. Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Did Will Smith brush against you at any point?
Yeah, I've spoken to Will. He's a great guy. Yeah, he's cool.
But
no, I'm good. Yeah, it's good to be on this podcast because that's such a hot thing now.
Yeah.
And
do you know what? It's just nice to be back.
Yeah.
And have a chat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sabrina?
Oh, no idea. Loads of tennis. So you've been running loads of tennis events. We're going throughout the country and getting more teenagers involved in tennis, running ambassador courses. So it's been amazing. We've got 50 guys trained up now, which is pretty fun. And just loads of speaking events, which has been loads of fun because I like talking.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, that's why you're on the podcast.
I think we need to talk first about the elephant in the room. Or the rhino.
That was a long sugar joke. You've been spending too much time with Lord.
That was my first joke. I might need to get that.
That was good.
But that was like the highlight of that episode. I mean,
what did he say? This is Ellie Fantastic.
No.
Back up. Where he said, over here we have the rhinos or the elephants.
Right.
And it was
rhinos.
But then again, mate. Wait, one of the rhinos was one of the top 5, right?
Yeah.
The big 5.
And the elephant.
And the elephants. They got both.
What were
they
the
got
other
3.
three?
They got the lion,
Giraffe.
No, they only got 3 out of 5.
It's a giraffe
and they
at
saw
a
a
big
giraffe.
5.
No, the giraffe isn't in the big 5.
Giraffes are like rabbits.
Who decided the
Very
big 5?
I don't know, but it's a big 5.
I didn't even know there were big 5, to be
I
fair.
thought the big 5 were
Was it
like
like
the
the
big
hippo?
banks, your Goldman Sachs, your bloody JP Morgans and all those. I didn't realise the big 5 of the animal world.
I can't believe that we kicked off.
I think we're the big 5 of Apprentice 2018.
yeah. Good one.
The others won't like that.
Oh
No,
shit,
So
sorry.
Cape Town, we started in Malta.
I feel a bit upset. Like,
Yeah.
they went to Cape Town.
Yeah, but let's imagine how long they probably were there for.
Yeah.
And how little of
But even so,
at least you, like, tick it
I'd
off.
rather see a rhino than an octopus. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I vote rhino also, literally. But also, like, you blinked in Malta and it was gone. It was over, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So they've had jet lag probably.
And I felt like our first task was harder than that because we had like words that no one even knew. Like we couldn't even speak that language.
Yeah.
How many of the items can you actually remember? Because I can remember like
Remember
3.
it.
Gonella, Hesira.
Gonella, silent G, babe.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Ornella.
I'm a silent G, of course. I am a silent G, but
Okay, you're allowed to say that about yourself.
You're actually a very loud G.
I'm a very loud G.
You and silent should never be in the same sentence.
No, but I remember Hesira. There was Hesira in it.
There was that fishing one, the big
What's
like,
the name
net.
for it though?
What's the net one?
Pilgrim
There we
Boat.
go. Yes, the
That's a
pilgrim.
boat.
I know it's a boat. Or the house, the little house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I just think that theirs, and
Yeah.
theirs wasn't as complex as
You know, we say that.
I
This is
think it's like-
episode number 1. We're watching it back thinking we could have done that a lot better.
I could have done that on my own.
No, I
Actually.
genuinely think theirs are harder because our one,
Whose side are you on?
No, really, let me explain. It's sorry, I can't touch your knee. Okay, I'll try to. I saw a piece of skin. The reason I say I think their one was harder because ours, we knew we just had to find 9 items. That was it. Theirs is like you got to organize a freaking safari tour.
Sell
Like, that's
tickets.
Yeah, ours, we just knew that we had to go
learn
from
the
one
tour.
place to ours. We just knew we go in that. Have you got this? Have you got that kind of
No,
thing?
but imagine how fun it would be to entertain everyone for like a whole
you
day.
would have been
Yeah.
The wheels on the bus go round and round.
Kids don't blue
They would have threw you to the line,
listening.
Sabrina.
If we was doing that, which one would you have rather? So I'd rather have done safari.
Yeah.
I would have probably. I think what the boys had was the better option,
Yeah.
but they didn't.
However, if you've been drinking all day and then you get into a shop full of wine, you're more likely to buy the wine, and that's where they made their
That's
money.
true.
But I think, like they were saying, I think people go to like on holidays to go on safari.
Yeah, you're not
go
going
drink
to
wine.
buy
wine,
wine.
yeah.
You can do that in
I-
any country in the world.
That's what I mean.
Like,
Yeah,
But you
that's
can't
true.
beat Echo Falls summer fruits.
Yeah.
The cheap
That's
stuff.
very cheap wine.
It's so
all about
morbid,
that.
it
You know all about that. don't you?
Yeah, you know.
Let's talk about the candidates.
Let's.
So we've got girls, the boys. Who for us is a standout right now? After that first step, Camilla.
I like Gemlin.
I
like
do.
her. She's super sassy
Yeah.
and she doesn't take any shit. I don't
I
think.
quite
I
like.
think because she's older, a bit more mature, and there's a lot of
Yeah.
young candidates, maybe early, like some of them, 19, 20. So I think she's
Yeah.
really standing out as a mature figure. Like she's been in business for how long?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see a lot of potential in Lottie Lyon actually.
Well, yeah.
She's
Yeah.
a feisty
She
boy.
Yeah,
was
but
the
that's
problem-
good.
she was
That's
the
good. Feisty
controversial.
by name and by nature.
She
Have you
was
just
like,
stolen
run
that
away.
from her bio?
I don't know. Maybe I have. Maybe I haven't. It just
What
came
about
to
you,
me.
Sabs? Who do you think?
I quite like Lewis and Ryan Mark.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like they're quite
Which
like
one was
sweet.
Ryan Mark?
So Ryan's like the quite young one.
McIntyre.
Oh my.
Yeah, I
Well
literally couldn't
spoken.
stop smiling every time he came up on screen. And Lewis
I think with him,
was a
with
little bit-
Ryan. So when I read all the bios and watched the videos, I thought this guy is going to be like an idiot.
Same.
In the most polite way. And then I watched it and I thought, actually, I quite like him. I like his
It's like when
character.
they were talking about in the shop, but the way he flipped it. Do you remember that?
Exactly,
bit?
he's
He flipped it,
really
I was
clever
"Ooh,
with
okay."
words.
You've got to be careful. You might do a Coyote. You might peak too early.
You know what? It's
go
still
down.
too soon.
Yeah, she's doing it. One year,
Too soon.
I'm just saying.
It'll
that
be too
happens,
soon
you know?
next year and the year
There's
after.
always-
The thing is, the first episode, you see a little bit of everyone, but by episode 4,
It's changed.
you
Are you
completely
kidding me?
change your
I
opinion.
was not shown once in that first episode.
No.
I had like
And
a
by
big
the end-
viewing party, like,
And
you
you weren't
know,
even
30,
shown.
50 people. All I did was close the car door.
You know who we didn't see at all? I've just seen her face.
Marianne.
Marianne. Yes.
Blonde.
Yeah, where is Marianne?
I was going to say,
Is she the Irish one?
No, she's like Jackie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Canadian.
if you was to put somebody as you who was in that episode,
Ooh,
that's a big
good
question.
Oh.
I am going to put my hand up and say I don't think I've got a me, just because I don't know. I don't feel like there was.
Because I'm
any-
one of a kind.
No,
Yeah.
you'll be more like Lubna. I think you'll be like Lubna. Could you? No, not in a bad way. No. Can I just explain? Like,
I would say maybe.
you know who Lubna is? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the one who was arguing with. the one who was arguing with.
Go on, explain.
No, I don't want to explain anymore. I feel bad. I
feel like you
like,
have
like,
to
the reason because, like, you know, you could, like, she was quiet in the beginning, but you know, and you were quiet in the beginning, but you still had influence. She still had influence. So of course, you never had beef with anyone in your first task. But
Do you want a bigger shovel, or is this one working?
do you want to come in with me?
Yeah, to be fair, she came across all right, I
Do you know
thought.
what it is though? I think with the first task, when you go abroad, right, everyone's still, scoping each other out because it's the first task, but you're abroad, so it's so new and so foreign. So everyone's still in their kind of shells. As it goes on, and now you're on home soil, and now they're going to be living in the house together.
you're getting to
People
know
get a
each
bit
other.
Do you
more,
reckon they're
you
going
know,
to make it next
comfortable.
year be abroad
It's-
as well for
it-
the first task?
Yeah.
Like,
It might just be a
task,
plan
you
to
be
do.
abroad.
I don't
every
know.
first
All I'm
task
saying
abroad.
is, I don't know how big the budget was this year, but I put that down to how good our series was. I think we single-handedly spiked the views, got in that kind of, you know, that extra kind of bit of revenue.
When you say
And now
we
the flow-
single-handedly, do you mean you
Yes,
single-handedly?
I agree.
So let's flip it back, right, to when we first, so do you remember the day when we was in the boardroom, the first ever day, and we was all like hidden away in them little
And
things.
it's weird, isn't it? They had you in them,
And you couldn't speak to anyone, and it was weird. And then we walked into that boardroom for the first time. What did you think of everybody? Because I had completely different opinions to all of you. Like, I'll say it now.
You thought I was a Scouser, didn't you?
Yeah. I thought he was going to be a
what do you think about?
Scouser.
What do you think about each one of us then? What do you think about us? No, be honest. Just say. No, you gotta say.
I probably can't remember off the top of my head, but the thing for me was I recognised a few people from auditions.
Same.
And in them auditions, Jasmine was in my audition, and in my audition I thought she's going to get on this show because she was like amazing. And then when I got in there, I thought, shit.
Yeah,
she was
she's
good.
good.
She was good. Sarah was in my audition, Sarah Byrne.
Oh, I like Sarah.
Yeah,
we
she
really
was.
clicked.
Never really.
She
get
was
to meet her.
feisty in the auditions, and again I saw her and thought she's going to be a feisty one.
Yeah, you just know.
She was a girl's girl though. I remember, like my lipstick went really bitty, for want of a better word. And she was like, just wipe it on my bag, on her tote bag. And she was just like such a nice girl.
Who would you say when you first saw them, you thought was a threat?
Jasmine, she didn't blink for about 7 minutes. She was like,
Yeah, she was.
and I was kind of like, looking at her like, and she was like, nothing at all.
For me, it would have been Tom because I was the third one in. It was just me, Tom, and
Tom was quite stern.
yeah. So we were the only guys. Just like all you lot came in, just like we just literally like this, just.
You're just sitting there like that.
Proper upright. So for me, it would have been Tom.
I remember Daniel looked at me and he tried to like extend his piece thing. And he was like, I was like, I could have gone with
in
that.
the edit.
Yeah, no, serious.
No, for me, when Alex and Frank walked in, that's what it did it for me because in the auditions they tried to sabotage me. So I was like, oh yeah.
So let's then flip it to they go over to Cape Town, and they have that moment of deciding who's project manager, who's sub-team leader. I remember that being us and thinking, in my head, I had a plan of, I don't want to be either of them for the first task.
That's
Stay away.
opposite. I wanted
Everybody
to
said,
be.
don't be PM for the first task. I'm like, I don't want to be. I ended up as sub-team leader, which I didn't want to be.
Didn't you get put with that because you made
I'm
eye
pretty sure
contact?
I got knocked,
That's all it takes,
Eye contact, looked at
someone.
But I think Lord Sugar's trying to dispel that thing that the losing PM goes home first.
Yeah.
Because everyone thinks it.
Because
and last year it happened, Jasmine didn't
And
go
that's
home.
why with this year's,
And this year didn't kick him out
You were
either.
the first PM to be fired. Fun
Oh,
times. Week 6 that was.
The odds were just stacked against me. Everything was stacked against
I
me.
think when you have the first episode and you have someone like with the boys, Lewis stepped up for project manager role, and for me, they lost and he didn't do a great job, but there's still that level of respect because he stepped up and he did his thing, and Lord Sugar probably thinks fair play to him. Do you know what I mean?
Kudos.
Unlike the girls where it was more of a, I don't know. That's like a bit like we were. I don't know what I want to do. We had the girls decide they were going to go in at like 2,000 something.
Yeah,
which was like 100.
But the reason that's difficult is because we don't know the exchange rate. Like, is that 2,000?
Well, it was. We did.
That's a bit deep.
No, we did.
What,
we
the
did know
2,000
exchange
rand?
rate.
Like,
2,000 was something like 105
oh,
pounds,
what did they
I think
say?
it said.
Okay, I missed
Yeah.
that
They'd
bit.
have
then,
that in the dress,
right.
So they went high, and then the boys.
All right.
They went high. The boys went low. I felt like the boys had the stronger offering. But the going high and selling less and all that kind of thing. The idea was, but then you see the girls did the negotiation where they were saying, oh, we'll get 30% off if we sell all tickets. But I felt like they should have maybe done a better negotiation of, even if we don't sell all tickets, we'll still get some kind of discount.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because
the
there
boys
wasn't
did a
actually.
much better negotiation, in my opinion. But the other side of it is, as we all know, when you're in them situations and you've got 5 minutes to make a plan, and do you know what I mean? It's hard.
And also,
than
they
it
say you
looks.
can't go lower than a certain amount as well.
Yeah.
Stuff like that, so.
And with going on, what's his name, Shahid, when he went into the, Shahid, anyway, him, and he went in, didn't he, and he just went to say, like, 22.5%, and that's probably because he just wanted to contribute, because
it
in that
gets that,
moment, you're like, what have I actually done?
Because
How
then
did you
they'll
feel-
flip it on you
so
so
how-
you contribute.
They're sending bracelets. That's like 2.5 pence.
How did you feel about the way that Tom So let's talk about Tom for a minute.
Tom, his name's...
Who's
Yeah, his name's Tom, innit? Yeah, not our Tom. Yeah,
No, not
yeah,
our
yeah.
Tom.
Tom.
They're Tom.
Thomas.
They've got a
Skinner.
Tom too.
I love Tom.
Our Tom
I love
is-
Tom.
Geezer, the
nice.
geezer.
Okay, so
geezer.
Tom was one for me where I saw his video and I thought, pillow guy, what is this about? Like, proper geezer. I actually liked him.
Yeah.
But I did feel, I don't know how you felt, I felt his selling tactics and the way he approached it a little bit aggressive. Probably fab on a market stall, but not so much in some of them
Yeah,
situations.
he did get life with that because he said, no, I'm not having that. 40. Like, it was like,
This
whoa.
woman's
You
looking
say
at him
that,
like,
but he did get the result up from 5% to 25%, didn't he?
Yeah,
Very,
yeah.
very
and then he shot in and said
22.5.
Yeah, to say that 2.5 pence. But, you know,
If he
he
didn't
did
get it, it would
up.
have been really bad though if he didn't get it. Like, they would have been like, whoa, why so aggressive? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like every year they need that one kind of salesman
Who was
who
it
just
annoying?
always
Do
like
you
sells.
think he's
I think
gonna-
Kai was the salesman
You're
for us this year.
You was
Donuts.
the best. Do you think that Tom's gonna? How do you think he's gonna fare throughout the next few episodes? Do you think he's gonna get better, or do you think he's gonna get?
Especially
on
if
his
tasks
nerves?
where they're not salesy, when they're more the creative tasks. How is he going to opt for that? Like,
I
I
think
think he might struggle.
I think he'll use people to his advantage. Like he seems very gregarious, like he'll get on with people.
For the sake of it.
Yeah, exactly.
you reckon they're intimidated by him? I think some of them are intimidated. Because
I
he's very,
would
like,
be. I think
very
I
boisterous.
would be
Like,
a little bit. I think his character is a little bit intimidating, but I think in business, you kind of need that, don't you? You know, you need.
I thought he was quite friendly. I don't know, like
you
obviously
think?
in that dialogue, it's interesting.
Would
how
you
people
buy a
perceive-
pillow from him?
Definitely, like he's been hustling his.
You were
mattress
scared of him. You were saying,
Yeah,
I'd
but
just
then-
buy it because I'd be scared.
Yeah, but when I watched when I saw him on the episode, like towards the end, he was a lot better.
Yeah, in the
but he's
boardroom.
a proper hustler, you can tell.
What do you think Lord Sugar will think of him because he's kind of got that that background?
I think
you
Sugar
know?
would like him. I do, because like Sugar grew up on the markets in East London. My man Tom's in East London. They both got like similar upbringings. I think he might see him as a young version of him,
Yeah.
and that he can groom him and work with him.
And he likes products as well. You know, I should have probably researched that.
I think the previous
Product based, yeah.
apart from before our year, James was a service with the recruitment.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
been a
that's
few
true.
recruitment,
And
actually.
there's Mark, he's got digital marketing, Rick,
Yeah.
he's got recruitment.
Yeah, I think it's interesting looking at them like into detail to see like whose is an idea and whose is an actual.
But then again,
So
we don't know.
Lottie, let's talk about Lottie for a second. What is her business plan? Because I know she's a librarian.
They haven't given that
No
away
idea.
yet.
Yeah, but then again, Tom's might not. His business plan might be separate to Pillows. We're assuming because that's what he does now. It could be
Karina,
different.
she's got a bakery, so is Lord Sugar going to invest into another bakery because he's got a Lana?
Ah, he doesn't work with Lana anymore now.
Yeah, they party.
Keith,
Maybe
what did we think of Lottie? Big
You know what?
character for the first ep. I think she's got potential, but if she doesn't rein it in a bit, she's going to start to get on the
How do you think when she
19,
gets to the
you know.
boys team? How do you think when
19.
we know when the teams go to the boys
think
and
it'll get a
girls?
bit
You reckon the
feisty.
boys? Because I don't know if she came to my team, I don't know if I would like that. Like,
You like to admire from afar.
yeah, like I respect it.
I
but,
think
like,
it
she's
depends. I think it depends on how she approach. She might approach the boys differently to the girls. Do you know what I mean?
not as feisty.
She might be more placid with the boys. Is that a word?
Yeah,
Placid?
yeah. I think if you're going to be cocky, you need to back it up.
'Cause remember what she
and
did?
she backed
Go on,
it up
sorry.
And she
in the
did.
wine thing. She knew her
She
stuff.
did.
What was it? You guys just get to know the personality.
No,
of
but
the
what
wine.
she did,
But the palate, I go, yeah, I'm
I'm
buying
here
into
for
that.
that.
So
Yeah, why
that's what I
not?
mean.
That's
You have
good.
to rate
So you
her
got
a
to
bit.
back it.
But what she did is that, remember, I can't remember which girl it was. She was actually in front of the customer, about to sell the wine. Then she came over and said, "No, I learned more about the wine. Let me do it." Like my girl was gonna make this sell
I think
anyway.
that was Joe Mean and Karina?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Karina
Yeah, it's like my girl was gonna get a sell anyway, but then Lottie just came in. It's like, fair enough. I mean,
And
the
in
way it
do you know
works,
what? I
yeah.
think the girls lacked a lot of the professionalism.
Yeah.
There was a lot of
Cattiness.
scenes where I thought, why would you like make it so obvious that you lost?
Yeah.
Have a bit of professionalism, kind of be on the back line. and
What do you
just be
mean they
like-
lost? As in,
So you know when they was trying to find the seller.
okay, yeah, when they could go around in circles.
Yeah.
Kind
To
of
be
thing.
fair, that would be me. I'd be like,
And they're like walking
all
around
over the
like-
place.
Yeah. I think they're trying to establish a hierarchy, all of the girls, like who's on top, you know, in that first episode. So Lottie's probably putting her foot down, but she's 19. Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah.
To hold her ground like that, even though she didn't come across amazing. Like, that's pretty commendable.
See, I find it really interesting, and I don't know what you lot think, but I always feel like the girls, every year, the girls have the cattiness right at the beginning, and the boys generally get
Do you
along
think that's the edit
until...
though?
I don't know, because we had a lot of
Like even
designers.
Grania tweeted when the show was on, like that's girls in every first task in every year.
It is.
That's what it's
Yeah.
like. Whereas,
Catty, whereas guys get along until they lose.
yeah.
And then when they're in the boardroom, everyone goes in on each other.
They got fiery.
what about geezer today shouting in the boardroom? I've never seen anyone get
Lewis.
That's how we do it in the north.
I don't think Lord Sugar well, he didn't, did he? He didn't
Think
like
think
that.
about how many years the show's been on. I've not actually seen anyone get that animated before.
so early on, or at all.
And the thing is, there's a
That's
level
all.
of like passion, and then
yeah,
there's
just
aggression,
being really loud.
and
I liked it when they showed it come down.
Yeah.
You actually saw the side. You
then he
actually
went
saw
again.
it. Yeah, that way.
He had like the vein on his head. That
He
was-
only paused for breath and
Yeah,
then went
that
for
way it
2.0. He was like,
Oh, okay.
again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just because he did not want to go the first
No.
week because nobody wants to go.
I don't
the
think he was
first
ever
week.
gonna go though. Like,
No.
I don't think he was ever gonna go.
No.
But it is easy, like, when you're in that position, what you're going to do, you're just going to get really defensive and you're going to attack everyone around you, rather than thinking, okay, what logical
But he was
steps
very
the
fair
next
though,
one?
in the fact that he didn't bring in anyone from the Safari team because he
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
said that they did a good job. So I think maybe Sugar said, like, you know what, it would have been easy to try and bring someone from their team, but because he actually acknowledged that they did very well,
Yeah.
they got no
He was,
refunds.
he was
so
able to
therefore-
see
Yeah, and that's
they
that's
kind
fair.
of.
And that's, that was
It was
the-
down
the
to
better
Pillow
part
Guy
of the
and his
team.
singing.
What's everybody's thoughts on Solomon?
I really like him.
Yeah?
Because the fact that he's got the impaired vision, but he's not letting that, he hasn't let that hinder him.
Yeah.
Like he's cracking them jokes in Safari. What did he say?
Blowing
Ellie
poo.
Fantastic. He
had
put a
better
poop in
jokes
his-
than you.
No, I don't think he's got better jokes
I
than you.
agree.
No, I disagree still. We can go bar for bar on jokes, but I like the way he's not using it as a hindrance. Yes, fair enough, he can't see as well, but he's using his voice. He's using what he can.
I think the key with him, like you were saying, it's great that he's on and he's got a disability and that they've got, you know, someone with a disability on,
Yeah.
but to not even highlight that because it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
In business, it's irrelevant. Like he just, if he's good, he's good. and
He was
that's
really
key.
likeable as well. Like the fact that he put poo in his mouth, like he has.
Yeah, he got stuck in.
That's not very
Yeah.
likeable.
No.
But like to get to do that and then to get the buy-in, like it shows that he gets on with people really well and he's willing to try anything.
Yeah, he's willing to
muck
embrace it.
Yeah.
But do we really think that going in at the deal of 22.5 was a sackable offence for Shaheen?
I think it was like you
Really?
got to think. It's either him
It's
or
the
Dean
bigger
was in
picture.
there.
It's the bigger
Yeah,
picture.
it's really
isn't
his
it?
plan.
The reason.
It's similar to why I went. Do you know what I mean? I saw it as the reason why when he got fired, I was kind of thinking, you know what? That's what I went wrong when I did the pricing on the flat on our gardening task. So I can see why that kind of reason that's why he got fired. So because it was either going to be Lewis or Dean, and Dean didn't do a bad job.
I think in the end, at the end of the day, when you looked at the way it worked out, the reason the boys lost was because they didn't, in my opinion, they didn't sell enough tickets. If they would have sold all those tickets, they would have won.
And he didn't sell any, did
He
he?
didn't sell one.
So that's it.
So
Yeah.
the two guys sold 4 and 3 and he didn't sell any. So in fairness, I personally, we'll go around and see what you all think, but I think the right person went.
Yeah.
agreed.
And like you touched on, there is a bigger picture, obviously, like they are looking a little bit as
Yeah.
to what they don't look at your business plan, but the front line, the top line of it. So it's not always just about the task.
And we know that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is. We know we're judged, or I felt like we were all judged on more than, like
Yeah,
you said,
of
just
course,
task.
yeah.
It's about how your character is in the house, how you get along with people, even how you deal with production, I think. If you're kicking off camera, you're not going to win it. 'cause-
Yeah, he does find out. He does find
yeah, of
out.
course he does. Like, it's...
What
it's
did
kinda how
any of
it
you not
works.
kick off to at production?
No, we were
No.
all pretty low maintenance.
We were a
to be
breeze.
fair.
I don't know, were we?
I was...
Did you kick off?
You were coffee
I
queen though. You were like, I need
You were
my
quite a
coffee.
diva actually. You were quite a bit
A
demanding.
little bit of a diva.
I think
Yeah,
we
you
need
were.
some behind-the-scenes gossip. What was the best gossip we had?
Best gossip.
Off camera.
Oof.
Ooh.
From our series or from today?
Well, we don't,
Well,
we
what
don't
about
know, but
today's?
yeah.
Do you know something we don't?
Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Look at her. She knows something. She knows something.
Exclusive.
Hit me with... I need to...
Go on.
So,
From
did
our-
anyone get in contact with you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who got in contact with you?
I can't remember his name, but I got asked out on a date.
By someone on this year?
Yeah.
Oh my god, don't say
Have you
it.
been?
I know
Did you
it.
go on the date?
No. I was like,
She's
us a
waiting.
clue.
She's waiting to see
no,
how he
I
fares in the
genuinely can't
first
remember who
day.
it was. I can't remember
We
which
need
guy
to-
it
we need
was.
to
She can remember.
Yeah.
Don't lie. Yes, she can
You know what? I
remember.
can remember.
I actually can't.
I'll put
Because I
money
can't
on it
remember
being
the message.
Dean.
No,
I'll put
yeah.
money on it being
I'll
Dean.
put money on it being Lewis.
Lewis or Dean?
Lewis.
You know what? Northern boys love a bit of you. But they love a bit of you.
A bit. They like the whole thing, not a bit.
I hope
that's funny.
you chucked them a custard pie and just didn't reply. That would be.
Did you reply?
What's a custard pie? Is that a thing?
Yeah, so it's like you're not going on a date with you.
Yeah.
You
it's
did,
one of
yeah.
those.
You didn't reply at all.
I can't
Or
remember, but I
politely
know that
declined.
Maybe
I politely
reply.
declined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Politely, like, go away. Like,
Well, like, you can't really be, dating someone from this year. It'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it?
People would think you were a bit beggy. Do you know what I mean?
Trying to cling on to the new year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
so
such a
good.
bad
Did you think any of them were hot though? Do you think there's any eye candy?
oh, Camilla, like.
I think
This is pretty juicy.
I'm not being funny for the guys. I think our year was probably a little bit better.
Oh!
We had Tom, Bundy.
Tom is a good-looking boy.
Bundy's like
You would say
Superman.
that.
You didn't hesitate.
Like Bundy was like good looking dude.
Yeah.
See, Tom is
forget
like
about
their Tom. I
myself
think
and-
our Tom is just like their Tom that man, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't say
like
they
Tom.
were
what do you say?
What would you say? What would you say of the first ep was the biggest surprise? Was there anything that you think was a surprise or what you weren't expecting?
This is South
Because
Africa
we knew
for me.
we knew about the South Africa
Yeah.
for a
Okay.
while.
I don't think we heard much from Karen and Claude.
I don't
Yeah,
think
They
we
were
did.
quite faded in today's episode.
I thought it was a good ep, but I thought there might have been a bit more explosion.
Like with Karen saying what she did, it was kind of like, well, obviously, like that was.
Do you
obviously
think they're getting past it
I
now? They've
don't
done
also
it year
kind of
after year.
I
Like,
wanted to hear a little bit of
Yeah.
like, oh, that was sassy. Like, boss Karen rather than like.
It
Yeah.
feels like
Think about ours. We had octopus, we had arguments, we had all kinds of stuff going on. And this, I think the task was so big, it almost took away from
it.
the actual.
Yeah.
they were too
candidates.
involved in the production and getting the lines and the
I
elephants.
just
that
want to
they-
see Claude on screen, really.
Yeah,
That's my
same.
view.
Yeah, but even when he was on screen, and as you said for Karen, I didn't really feel the
Yeah, you didn't-
passion of it.
You
It
didn't
was
feel
like-
them. When we saw them last game, it was like, oh, Karen, cool.
was
But
like,
here
you
it's
can,
like,
like,
yeah,
see them,
Karen,
like,
hello. You know what I mean? It's
Hey,
like,
get 'em.
I'm sure that will change though in the
Yeah,
next
yeah,
few
yeah.
episodes, and I'm looking forward to getting to know these guys a bit more,
Yeah.
see them for who they really are, rather than the first episode. Because, like you say, Marianne, I don't think she said one sentence in the whole.
No. Search
Which
party
obviously
for
means
Marianne.
final five.
yeah, Sarah Ann got very far and they didn't show much of her. So
That was actually really odd, just touching on that, like Sarah Ann, how she just never got shown, like.
And she was a
ever.
big character.
She was huge, and it's just so weird how they sometimes choose like someone not to kind of portray. I don't know.
And the house.
Oh my god.
oh, let's not talk about that. No, we're not
Yes,
talking about that. No.
I think this year's stepped up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Corinne said, we got the more money. What do you say? We got the more views.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm telling you, single-handedly, our series pulled in
We
the
won
views.
the business show last year.
Oh
Best
yeah,
business show.
woo!
Yeah, we won Best Business Show.
God.
Do you think that this year, so I was reading some stories about how they think it's a younger year, it's more sexy, although that's a lie, in my opinion.
They said that last year as well. to be fair.
But do you think that they're going down that route of, so we all know social media now, we all know the power of it, do you think they're going more down that route? Because I saw a lot of comments saying it's supposed to be a business show, they're just getting models on it now, it's like, Love Island, all that. Do we think that...
Who's it meant to be a model on?
Yeah, I was
it?
gonna say, which
Who's-
ones are
Gemini.
really-
Gemlin.
Yeah. But it's like also, like, why are you assuming that people in business can't be attractive?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's
like,
one of my arguments is, if you want to wear a bikini...
Yeah.
What do
why
they want them to
not?
look? They want them to look like Miss Trunchbull or something. You know
Yeah.
what
I
it is?
mean, if business is everybody, it don't matter how you look.
By saying that, you're actually excluding good-looking people
Yeah.
in business. So.
And I think personally that social media is such a big thing now that people need to be clued up on it in business. So you know what I mean? They need to know what they're doing.
I don't think they're getting younger though. I think the average age, like for me, I love
They
my
must be younger
numbers. They're
this
not the
year.
average age is the same as us. It's the same as us. Like they got a lot more 30. They got the 19s, which she never had. What was our youngest? 21.
21, Alex,
But they got a
yeah.
lot more older people. But the average age does work out.
I'm just hoping there's not a youngest finalist because I play off that. That's in the bio. That's cemented.
That's you done.
Honestly,
someone put that in
I am
theirs?
the weakest link, but I may as well just retire because if I
Well,
had
why?
that
Well,
title,
they've got two 19-year-olds.
I know, yeah.
That's very
Let's hope
impressive,
they
you
just
know.
don't
'Cause at
lose.
19, when I look at what I was doing at 19, I was just a student
And think
at uni.
about it, we know the like it was pressure,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
It was
it's
pressure.
alright.
I
I mean, it
I
weren't so
struggled.
bad.
Like I felt like it was like a psychological challenge
Yeah, it was.
as well as because I always explain it to people like you see an hour and think, oh yeah, they just go and do some tasks. We live in a house. It's like it's 24 hours. Do you know what I mean?
Back, Sean, but like,
It is.
No fur.
It's not like just an hour of a task. It's like weeks and weeks worth.
Yeah,
of
viewers
living with
definitely
people.
underappreciate what the
And then
candidates
Twitter
go
just
through.
rip everyone apart.
But think of what we've just done in this podcast. It's going to be an amazing podcast. But we just put all of our assumptions out there when we've lived it. So we know whatever we've seen on screen is actually only like 2% of what happened.
Yep.
But it's really
But
entertaining.
some people you can, but some people like you know that's who they got. Like Lottie, I don't think that is. I think that's her. Like we can all agree that I don't think that's her. Do you got me? That feistiness.
she's not fake.
Do you got me? That's not fake. That's her. Tom. Her.
Do
you
you
know what I mean?
think? Do you think that Lottie will go far? Because I do.
Yeah, I do.
Because I think her character, as much as I would probably struggle with her,
I think she'll split the public. Yeah.
I
She'll make
think she
good
will,
TV
but
as
she'll,
well.
She has,
she will.
but I
She'll
feel
be, she's
sad.
gonna
She's
be
had a lot of
entertaining.
threats already. Like even before it was
Really?
aired, it was on her story.
Why?
Like it's sad. Like I even DM'd saying like, listen, like,
Ignore it.
don't ignore me.
Well, that too. It's probably for the best.
No, but it's like it's mad. The show wasn't even aired, and she already had letters coming to her door, and it's like, where do people?
I've never had a letter come to my
How did
door.
they make that judgment on her already before the first episode? It's crazy how the public already.
That's what I think is scary about any TV show, but ours especially, is like the criticism you get. Like, people forget that you're actually human. Do you know what I mean? Like, you go on Twitter and you read the comments and you're like, oh my God.
Did you get any death threats?
never
In my
got
whole
that.
time, I didn't get a single death. I got a lot of shit.
Yeah.
But I didn't get a single.
Someone-
death.
Okay, this is a good one, right? What was the worst tweet or what was the worst one
I've
you
got a
ever
few
got?
still.
The worst one.
Like one guy told me, "You're such a clown." Then I retweeted it saying, "So's your dad." Then I got like 1,000 likes and retweets. But
That's
the one
not bad.
the one that really annoyed me, someone told me to suck my mum. So then I replied back like, "Let's go, motherfucker!" I was ready for that. I said, "Right, if you're that bad, I'll turn on my location. You can come meet me in it."
Oh,
And then I got a phone call from Taylor Herring. Harry, you know, you should remove that. That's not good. Look, I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, you can't tell me to suck my mum in a tweet because.
what about you, Camilla?
Listen,
What was your worst?
Well, I just used to get weird guys like messaging me weird things. So like
I'd
I'd
you
have
don't want to
like
see.
I'd have like I want to dress you up, paint you green, and spank you like a naughty avocado.
What?
Or a disobedient avocado, and I'm just like,
Paint you green?
I'm sorry, what? I want to dress you up.
I'm sorry, I think I
paint
know
you
who that
green.
was.
Was that
Yeah.
you? Was that
Guilty. But my mum was on it on Twitter. She'd reply
I'd
to
seen your
everyone.
mum.
She'd be like, bore off. Or like, oh, Stephen.
Mumsworth.
What a delightful tweet for all 7 of your followers to enjoy.
you? My mum was like that though. My mum
Yeah,
used to
Mandy.
send me pictures of Facebook messages. I'm like, Mum, please.
I don't want
leave
to
it.
see. We
Leave
were the
it."
same though. We were like, I don't want to see it. Like,
Yeah.
don't tag me in these
What
things.
about you, Kurran?
I don't know, I had like a lot I would have to get through, but I
You
read
had a
every
bit of a
single
hammer,
one.
yeah.
But I like to sit down and read every
You
single
loved
one.
it, though.
And some of them were really imaginative and made me laugh. But I got to say, the Lord Farquaad ones,
Yeah.
they began to piss me off.
Oh, really?
Just because. My sister always called me Lord Farquaad. And I was like, no, don't be see it. And then I was like, oh my God, she was right.
him.
Oh my God, though. People were saying I looked like the twins from White Chicks.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
That
I saw
was
that.
bad. He's like, yeah. that was bad. I was like,
That's pretty low.
that's low of the
That's a
low.
bit hurtful.
But yeah.
What about you, Sabs?
I just got a lot of interesting pictures
Oh.
that I didn't want to see.
No.
I didn't get
I'm
pictures.
No,
I-
I got
I'm
girls. A lot of girls are forward still. I'm not.
No, I think
I
they're
got a lot of
catfishes.
forward
They're
guys and
Girls,
a lot of,
no, it's
a
not.
lot of feet requests as well.
Yeah, for
I had a
money.
few feet
So many
requests.
feet requests. I was like,
I mean, you
is
could
this
be
an
making some
actual-
money out of them feet requests now.
How do you think she's
Can you
afforded
imagine?
these new 50 ambassadors she's trained up?
Can you imagine? No,
Yeah.
I don't really get hate, to be honest. I just got a lot of interesting.
See, I
guys.
didn't get much hate until the final.
You got hate in the final.
Final
Yeah, that
was
was
like
hard. There's 2 girls.
every
though.
comment was negative about. I didn't read much positive. Really.
No, I didn't.
Really?
It was like,
I got a lot, but
how
then
have these
there was a
two
lot of
got
negative.
to the final?
Yeah.
Blah blah. I was just like, you
Oh,
know what?
yeah, the last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, yeah. But there
Okay.
was what 8 million people watching, and they've only got you or I to comment on.
So you got 4 million each.
Yeah, I think you had a few more, to be fair, like in a good way. I was reading mine. It was like Camilla, the girl who did this, and still made the final because obviously there was a whole jet pop incident. But never mind.
So next few tasks, what would you like to see?
As in what the task would be.
So what do you think would be something? It's a hard question, but what
I'd
would
like to see
you?
a creative task.
I want to see them pitch.
Yeah.
It's always good to see them pitch.
Who
See
do
if
we
they
think
can
will
remember
be-
the names.
Do you know who I think would be I don't know if he'd be good or bad. I think Tom will have a way of pitching that will either work really well or
Yeah, it's going to
really
be love it or hate it.
Yeah.
Can
He's
they beat
confident though.
Jackie
He's very
though?
confident.
No one's going to
Oh,
beat Jackie.
no one can
Queen.
beat Jackie.
No one's going to ever beat
One
Jackie.
of a kind. One of a kind.
Wow.
Killed it. I'd love to see a task where like it's something to do with technology and social media because I feel like obviously
like,
you're not allowed.
the mag task we had.
Yeah,
Yes,
because you're not
the
allowed
comic, yeah.
phones when you're doing the task. Obviously, we've got the yellow pages out. Don't know. So I'm just like, it'd be good to see if they can use other tasks to do with social media because it's so relevant now.
True.
Yeah.
Like we don't go
Something
into
like
shops
they
and make donuts.
They have to build a following
Yeah.
in a day.
Exactly. Or go
That's
to an
actually
event. How many?
great-
That's very realistic. That's very realistic.
I'm going to
Okay.
email Lord Sugar after this.
Yeah. How many Instagram or LinkedIn requests can you get in 24 hours by putting on a really stupid event or something
Yeah.
like that? Something that's
TikTok's a
viral.
Yeah. Viral on TikTok,
I
yes.
don't know about
Can you
TikTok,
imagine?
girls.
Yeah, oh no, that would
It's-
be...
Maybe,
Oh.
maybe series 20 or something.
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
now. But let's
Bit
just start with
futuristic.
Instagram.
But I mean, we've already seen the next task is to make the ice dollies, which is it? What's his name?
Oh,
I'm pretty sure.
Kennard. So Kennard's
yeah.
going to be.
What
I mean,
do we
that's
think
true.
of Kennard? I didn't see
I liked him
don't-
because
do you know what?
when Ryan
Kennard?
messed up on the black guy in
he's
the
the-
burgundy suit.
There you go.
Oh, yeah,
Like
yeah.
so, when Ryan messed up with the negotiation going through, she said what 800, and he said something like I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But he got it back up. So I mean, I think he's
yeah.
thrown in little seeds, which shows that he's very good at what
I
he
think
does.
with him, I felt like that little bit in the boardroom when
Yeah.
he started going in.
Said a
I'm
lot
like,
about him.
Just chill,
They've
like,
just
that was
started.
really.
not
And
needed.
I
Don't
know
jump on
he's
it.
probably thinking, oh, it's my chance to say something. It's like, just like chill
yeah.
out.
Sometimes
got
you
time,
gotta
you got
say
time.
less,
yeah.
unless you've got something of real substance.
And I feel like, and this is what I always explain to people, I felt like the first couple of weeks, I wanted to get you guys on board with me. Like, I wanted us to be friends and that you trusted me.
same.
Because I felt
Is
like...
that your strategy? Is that the strategy?
This is the only reason.
we know
Yeah.
Sean's strategy now.
I'm not really friends with you all. I'm just...
I need
No,
you to
but do
film
you
my
know,
podcast.
I feel like you end up getting further by... You
100%.
keep people in at
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
Lord Sugar doesn't have that power. It's not till the end that you have to be a bit more ballsy and a bit more feisty. And so I felt like if you make sure everybody gets on with you,
Yeah.
you'll get through the first
Exactly.
round. If you're too much of a character, like
can be
was
bored.
like what's her name?
Sarah.
Is it
In
Sarah?
our first
Librarian.
Lottie.
one. Lottie.
Lottie's risky because she's gone wild.
Yeah.
People are
could
going to bring her
have-
back.
yeah.
But it's mad, but look, the names we're always mentioning are Tom and Lottie. Like, are we saying that they're our main two standouts? Is that what it is? Because
Maybe.
they're the only two we're really talking about.
I felt like we saw a lot of them in this episode.
I don't. Yeah, I think it's just I remember the names. I know that
Yeah.
sounds crazy, but that says a
Yeah,
lot.
it's
If you
true.
come away from an episode remembering someone's name, it means they've had an impact on you.
Yeah, I think there was only like 6 people in it this time. Like,
There was.
But then you also don't want to be the person that they've had loads because it means that you might be getting fired.
And that's why some of the quieter ones, we'll probably start to see a little bit more of them.
Come out their shell.
Yeah, and you'll be like, you know what, actually?
yeah.
She's really good. Thank you all for tuning in tonight, guys, to the first ever episode with this fabulous bunch. I hope you had as much fun as we did. And make sure you tune in next week. We've got an even more special guest, dare I say it. Sorry, guys. And make sure you're liking, subscribing, comment below your thoughts on last night's episode. Let us know what you were thinking. And turn your notifications on so you know when next week's episode's coming up.